This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.
Hi there. Happy Saturday. I'm Nohelani Graff with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. Let's get into it. Waiting for guidance from the state. That's what Northern Arizona County says that they are doing as they are headed back into the red category for transmission of COVID-19. Coconino County will likely move into the substantial community transmission zone next week. However, they say that they await guidance and direction from the state on what that means for businesses and mitigation measures. The state's former top public health director, Will Humble, says the state needs to be clear on what the standards are for the public and especially businesses.
They need to plan for staffing. They need to plan for how much alcohol to order, how much food to order. And if they're going to get shut down suddenly, they need to know that in advance. And one of the ways you would know that is by looking at the standards that have been developed. And so that's why it's important that if you're going to have standards, to be clear about what they mean.
Along with Coconino County, Pima County also supposed to move back into the red. The state health department is expected to work with those counties individually. Now, as Arizona steps up its fight to reduce and track the spread of COVID-19, the state is also looking ahead and preparing for the day when a vaccine becomes available for distribution. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention targeted November 1st for a rollout if a vaccine is ready by then. How it's shipped, where it goes, who gets it, though, all part of the logistical challenges that Arizona faces. For months, Arizona's Department of Health Services says it has worked with counties, tribes, and public health providers. The plan will resemble what it did 10 years ago when the department oversaw the distribution of the vaccine for the N1H1 virus, the swine flu.
It's understanding what resources are out there within the community, what can they receive, what do they have the ability to receive, and or do they need to make some modifications so they have the ability to, so do they need to acquire like freezers?
Now, back then, the vaccine for swine flu went directly to the counties where it was distributed to healthcare providers. It is anticipated that the COVID vaccine distribution is going to be a bit more complicated. Governor Ducey said the U.S. military, National Guard, FEMA, and the Department of Emergency Management will all be involved. Arizona does hope to have its vaccine distribution plan ready by the end of October. Now to your voice, your vote. And the Maricopa County Recorder is taking a battle between state leaders to court. Adrian Fontes now asking a judge to decide how counties should be allowed to accommodate voters who need help voting during the pandemic. This comes after Secretary of State Katie Hobbs pushed a plan to allow people currently in the hospital or a nursing home to still be able to vote, maybe by video conferencing or some other unique options. As for Fontes, he spoke about this exclusively with ABC 15.
I just want to get voters voting, and I'd like the courts to let me know what the rules are so we can apply them and make sure we get the job done.
Governor Ducey argues the Secretary of State's plan should not be allowed, and some fellow Republicans are calling it an attempt to change the rules way too late in the game. Now let's talk about our wildfire watch. Buildings up in flames as a fast-moving fire spreads in the North Valley. This is called the Sears fire, and it jumped to 5,200 acres overnight. It's burning on the Cave Creek Ranger District. Neighbors in the Sears K Ranch area did have to evacuate for a time. It's unclear what sparked those flames. No injuries have been reported. And we do want to remind you before we go, if you haven't registered to vote yet, you have 9 days left. You can head to your county's elections website or go to arizona.vote. Get you that most accurate forecast for your Saturday. After starting the morning off in the 70s, we will linger in the 80s through the mid-morning hours. It's going to take us until 11 o'clock to make our way into the 90s, and we'll be in the upper 90s by 1. But we will cross over into triple digits today. That forecast high, 103 for Phoenix, well above the average. We should be in the mid-90s, but we're far away from the record high of 108 that was set back in 1989. Across the high country, cooler temperatures in Flagstaff and Show Low in the 80s. Sedona still warm today in the low 90s, but we'll see breezy conditions across northern Arizona, 10 to 15 mile-an-hour winds with gusts up to 20, even 25 miles an hour. We stay in the 100s, the low 100s through the weekend, but we do look to hit 99 degrees on Tuesday. On Wednesday, monsoon season officially ends, and we stay in the low 100s all week long. For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head to abc15.com or download our free ABC15 app. Make it a great day.
This ABC 15 Flash Briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. Straight up.